about striving in chaos. How do you strive in chaos? How do you deal with the situation we are all faced with, where there's a lot of uncertainty, there's so much doubt, there's so much concern, people are scared, that as the pandemic grows, it creates more and more of challenges in our everyday lives, from the kids are at home to you got to figure out where to eat to what is your job safe. All of these things are going on, and we're dealing with them at a global scale we've never had before, in which it's weighing down on us every single day. The news is weighing down. We know people who are sick. We know people who are passing away. We know people who are terrified and locked up. And so this series I'm doing with you all, called Striving in Chaos, is meant to be just as a resource for you every single day, putting some positivity, some optimism, some strength in your mind and in your heart. And that's why I'm here for you, and I love you all, and I thank you for tuning in. I'm so appreciative of all those who've been joining me live here on Instagram, who've been just listening to my podcast, The Brendon Show, where we're putting the audio of these two together for you every single day. So if you go to the Brendon Show podcast, you'll see me there. Today I want to talk to you about 3 big things. Hi y'all, I see y'all. 3 big things for you today. I want to talk about 3 things that aren't going to help. Because in episode 1, in Striving in Chaos, which you can find on my podcast, The Brendon Show, the link is in my bio if you're on Instagram. Just click that and you can get episode 1, which was yesterday. Every day I'm going live for you guys for the next 30 days. And in episode 1, I talked about the things you can do. Today I want to talk about things you want to avoid, right? There's 3 things that can really hurt your ability to not just cope in the situation, but to really thrive and continue striving towards your dreams. Because listen, as I said yesterday, I know it's challenging right now. I'm like many of you, I'm locked down, right? I've been locked down and shut in for like 3 weeks now, right? But you can be locked down and fired up. You can let the external world be in chaos, but you can find internal strength, internal centeredness, internal confidence, even in times like this. And you know what? That's a high demand. Everyone says, Brendon, you're expecting too much from people. I go, you know what? I'm happy about that. I am okay to be the person who expects high standards for people. I'm okay to ask people to try to be a role model for those that they love and that they lead and that they serve. I'm okay being that guy. I think there's plenty of people out there who are okay to just say, hey, allow it. Whatever you need to do. If you need to take 6 weeks on the couch, take 6 weeks on the couch. There's other voices saying that. For me, I don't want to be the person who just enables everybody to avoid the reality or to get lost in distraction or to cope in ways that we already know from psychology that will not serve them in coming weeks, months, and years. Because I want you to still be able to be engaged, joyous, happy, positive, loving, even when everybody's up on your grill in your house, even when everything just got like 10 times harder. I want to be that person for you, cheering you on and asking you to be strong throughout the situation. Because just like yesterday, the Queen of England said, hey, we're going to look back at this and we're going to be proud of how we engage and how we acted. I think that has been my message for 90 days to the world, right? We saw it coming. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get scarier. And a year from now, we'll look back and say, boy, I was proud how I showed up for my family. So I've been that person, and I hope that you'll allow me to do that today, because I'm still going to hold everybody accountable to high standards of kindness. I'm still going to hold people accountable to high standards of believing in their dreams, still doing something every day, moving forward. Sometimes that means you took a shower today. Good job. Sometimes that means you knocked off 2 or 3 things that were important to you today that helped you cope, right? That you did your meditation, that you did your workout. So there's things you can do that are positive habits that will help you survive and thrive and strive throughout all of this. And so here's what I want to share with you today. There's also things you shouldn't do or get trapped in. If you read my book called The Motivation Manifesto, there is a chapter in there about defiance. And defiance is that when we want to do something or when we want to be somebody, it's very easy that there's an internal defiance to that. There's an internal side of us that says, I don't want to do it. It's kind of like, that old thing, you have an angel on your shoulder and a devil on your shoulder. And every time you want to do something good for yourself, or every time you want to feel well, the devil is kind of in your ear. I just call that defiance. Defiance is in your ear saying, you can't be happy. You don't deserve that. Who do you think you are? And there's defiance. I always think of as like a, I know this is kind of visual, but it's like a three-headed monster. And that three-headed monster has three heads to it, if you will. There's three monsters on there. And the first one, and I don't know if you guys can see this, is doubt. That first one is doubt. Doubt. Right now is not the time for you to start doubting all of your capabilities. Right? As soon as uncertainty comes up, of course we go, oh, am I capable in handling that? But that's self-awareness, not self-doubt. But listen, if you have doubt, everyone's like, Brendon, you're telling people that's bad. I'm like, oh no, if you have doubt, that's okay. But listen, doubt is a feeling, and all feelings are a signal. Yeah? Your feelings are a signal. If you are experiencing doubt right now, it's a signal saying, hey, you're not quite ready for this, or hey, engage this in a different way, or hey, skill up, get ready. So I don't think self-doubt is a negative thing. I think self-doubt's a positive thing. Sometimes. Self-doubt is a positive thing when it makes you go, hey, am I ready? Should I get ready? Should I prepare a little bit better? That's a good thing, right? Self-doubt makes us want to become more competent people, right? That's why we have it. I'm not sure of myself, but here's the problem. Doubt is always going to be a negative thing ultimately when we let it stop us from living healthy, positive, and productive lives. So here's my encouragement to you, because I love you all. Please don't get lost on the doubt train right now. Please don't be that person who's like, oh my gosh, everything's new. I don't know how to handle it, so I guess I'll just sit and do nothing, because you're really stewing in doubt. Because there's a very big difference between coping, right? Resting, recovering, relaxing, doing practices like meditation, workouts, walks, journaling, self-care. There's a big difference between self-care and stopping action because you doubt yourself. And you need to know the difference. Are you doing self-care, or have you stopped everything because you doubt yourself? I think that's really important to ask right now. Two very different things, right? Self-care is, let me do positive, healthy habits for myself, to care for myself and my family so that I can continue on. Self-doubt is a stopper. It's like self-doubt crashes you on the couch for weeks and weeks and weeks and doesn't help you move towards your goals or dreams. And I know you know this, but maybe I can be that voice of encouragement for you in the Striving in Chaos series. Okay? For those who are just tuning in, if you want the audio of this whole series I'm calling Striving in Chaos, I'm posting the audio every day on my podcast, The Brendon Show, and the link to that is in my bio. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can listen to The Brendon Show. But all these interactions, I'm getting the recording, we're putting it on The Brendon Show, and we're calling it the Striving in Chaos series. And I'm here to tell you, the worst way to strive through chaos is drowning in self-doubt. It's the worst way. That feels the worst. Listen, there's so much uncertainty already in the world. Please don't stack that on yourself now. Don't stack that. No, listen. People are like, how can you be so confident right now, Brendon? I'm like, well, because I believe in my ability to figure things out. Look, isn't it true you've already faced so many crazy uncertainties in your life and you figured out and you made it through? Maybe you made some mistakes, babe, but that's okay. You're still today. You still got this breath. Let's be grateful for this breath. You can still continue on. Don't let the doubt stop you. Don't let the doubt make the situation worse than it already is. You've got to have confidence and internal guidance inside that says, I believe in my ability to figure things out. Throw it at me, I'll figure it out. I might be a hot mess, y'all, in figuring it out, but give me enough time, energy, focus, mentorship, work, and learning, I'll figure it out. That's always my mentality. People are like, don't you have doubts, Brendon? Oh, sure. Sometimes the signal hits me and says, hey, pay attention, learn, get better, prepare more. That's healthy. But doubt does not stop me, and it does not degrade the quality of my emotional reality each day. If doubt is degrading the quality of your emotional reality each day, my friends, then you got stuck in a merry-go-round of doubt. You keep going, what if I can't handle it? What if I can't handle it? What if I can't handle it? What if I can't handle it, right? That's doubt. What if I'm not good enough? What if I can't handle it? Over and over and over you say that, and so you stop. You don't engage, you quit. So be aware. Be aware. Does the doubt have you right now? And if it does, trust you will figure your way through. What's going to happen, and you all know this, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year, 2 years from now, we're going to look back and go, wow, I really doubted myself way too much. If we were blessed to still have breath, if we're still alive, if we're healthy, if we're blessed, listen, you and I both know, you look back and go, you know what? I actually handled that better than I thought I could. If you choose to. My number one thing I would ask the audience, every single person here, y'all, from day one, I said, please adopt the role model mindset. Please enter this crisis in a place in which you are choosing your mental frame going in. I chose it going in. I said, you know what? No matter what, as I go into this, I'm going to demand from myself to be my higher self through this situation, be proud of who I am, to be kind to people, to show up and serve. And that means something to me right now. And by adopting the mental frame in advance, it helped me because guess what? When you're a role model, when you're trying to be a role model, you're more confident. You demand a little bit more of yourself. And I think that's important right now because sometimes, the next level of life for everybody is to expect a little more from yourselves. And I'm here to tell you, it's okay if you have doubt, but know it's a signal to skill up, to get better, to trust in your ability to figure things out. Because what's the opposite of doubt? Sometimes it's just straight up faith, y'all. And I don't know about you, but I'm a person of faith and I just have a tremendous amount of faith that I will be guided through this situation. I have faith that allows me not to have the doubt. I just trust that things will turn out as they're supposed to turn out. I engage and do what I can do because I also trust that I was giving knowledge, skills, abilities to engage, to work through, to do my best. And I have faith that higher powers got me from here. That's all I can do. So there's an allowance there. An allowance. Sometimes you have doubt because you think you have to control everything. I don't think I have to control everything. I think whatever's going to show up, that's grace. How I'm going to engage with it, that's choice. How well I'm going to do, that's preparation and training. And that's what I have to do. Engage it with faith. Engage it with faith. The other big idea I want to share with you today is about this thing I don't want you to get stuck into, which is distractions. And listen, I know, as soon as I talk about this, I get attacked on the internet all the time. It's like, oh, you're telling people they're just distracted. No, they're coping. I'm like, no, those are two different things. Did you know distraction and coping are different words in the dictionary? They're two different things. You can cope, you can be actively coping and learning and doing things, and then you can be distracted from life. Then you can be distracted from your dreams. Then you can be distracted from, doing things that are healthy for you. And let's not fool ourselves and call everything we're doing right. I know people eating buckets of popcorn saying, I'm coping. I'm like, probably not going to fit under the definition of coping. Okay. It's fine whatever you're doing. But if you're eating buckets of ice cream, no one's going to call that healthy. Right? What that's doing is avoiding or seeking comfort in something at unhealthy levels at some point, okay? So let's just talk about distraction because I think this is really important. I'm here to tell you, my friends, you still have dreams. They can shut down the outside world, but you have to shut down your internal world, your dreams, your hope for the future, and the vision of what you can achieve. So I'm here to say, be aware of, are you coping or are you distracted right now? Because what happens is, right, think about how easy it is. How easy is it? Can you refresh your social media 70 times a day, the news 70 times a day? That's distraction. That is not coping. And so I think it's really important for us to define terms in that regard. And I also think it's important to remind you not to get caught into distraction, too much refreshing and everything else. Because listen to this. I want to share some stats with you and really share something that's important. I'll share with you my personal practice, which I shared yesterday as well, but I think is important. I'm only checking social media and news twice per day, It's usually after I've already woken up, I've already done my morning routine, I've already done a significant piece of work block, moving my life forward, getting my family ready, doing all the things I have to do for the morning. Then I might check, but I limit social media and news for 15 minutes. And then in the afternoon, usually right before dinner, I'll check again. I'll just check in to see if there's anything I need to know or that will, impact my life. But that's 30 minutes a day on news and social media right now. That's it. Unless I'm learning, I'm following somebody or a broadcast like this, who I've seen from a lot of my friends, I'll watch their live cast to learn. That's like taking in positive, strong, empowering things. I don't call that distraction. But distraction is real, and let me share something with you, if you don't mind. I want to share some statistics with you. This is crazy. Let's do some math together. Okay, if you're distracted, let's call it an hour a day. And again, there's a difference between coping and recovering and rest and distraction. Distraction is I know I want to do this, but I keep doing these other things that aren't healthy and don't support that movement towards or engagement with that thing that I want to do, If you're distracted an hour a day, listen to this. That ends up being 7 hours a week. That's 28 hours per month, which is 336 hours per year. So what? Well, it turns out that 336 hours per year, that equates, listen to this, to 42 lost, or what could have been, 8-hour work days. Now, I'm not saying we always have to work. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm just saying, as a comparison, if you lose an hour a day to distraction, that would have equated to 42 work days, 8-hour work days. That means, think about that. That's over a month. That's basically a month and a half of full days that you could have done something, engaged something, created your art, learned something, been with your family, right? Advanced and tested ideas for your dream. Think about that. 1 hour per day lost in distraction is 42 8-hour work days a year. That's 1.5 months gone. And people say, I don't have any time, but I'm like, you probably have 1.5 months there, but you lost it to distraction because you didn't get up and decide, what am I going to do today? What's important today? What am I going to focus on today? And hey, that day might be chill day. That's fine. No, you're going to chill that day. That's your objective. Anything get in the way of chilling, that's a distraction, right? But like today, this to me is an activity I wanted to do for you. I want to be here for you guys in this Striving in Chaos session for the Brendon Show. I want to be here for you. Everything else that was going to prevent this, that I could have consumed or done, would have been a distraction from this activity. I know you guys get that. So beware. So far, we've talked about beware of doubt, beware of distraction. What's the opposite of distraction? Focus, engagement. And so begin your days by spending a few times, write out your goals, fill out your high performance planner. For those who have yours, I just knocked mine off the table a minute ago. So I fill out my high performance planner every morning. So I'm aware of what I'm trying to do that day, no matter what. And I know many people right now, your goals and your activities are limited each day. That's cool, know that, but at least still make a plan for the day. Would you all hear me? Please still make a plan for the day. Even if you're home, even if you smell, even if you haven't had your shower, even if the kids are running around and tearing everything up, wake up, make some kind of plan for the day. It will knock some competence into your body. You'll feel good. You'll be like, okay, there's a plan. That's good. Last big idea today, division. Division. What does that mean? Division is where we divide ourselves. We're divisive from other people. And what we tell ourselves is, they don't understand. They don't get it. They're so different. They're so lucky. They're so blessed. She's so cute. Oh, she doesn't understand, or he's like that. And what you do is you start judging other people. And I told you yesterday, that hashtag, judge less, feel better. Right now is the time to recognize our common humanity. If you've never given yourself that gift of acceptance of your role as a global citizen on one earth, and we're in something together, when are you going to do it? Right? So instead of judging these guys, they're blue, and these guys are red, and these people are that, and they're that. And you know, but what's happening right now is people are becoming very, forgive me, but I'm trying to hold people to a higher standard. People are becoming super petty right now. Like crazy petty. Judging her, for getting her workout still in her house, even if it looks a little silly. It's like judging him, oh, he's just lucky, or judging them because they're wealthy, or they're doing this, or they're from that state, or this. It's like, whoa, as you bucket people and judge people more, guess what? It creates mental anguish. Why? Because the human desire and drive for connection and oneness. The more you divide and divisive against other people, the more you blame other people, categorize other people, label other people as less than you or less honorable as you start bucketing mass groups of people and making them evil, making them the bad guys, you don't understand that psychic energy decimates you. You don't even know it. You are detaching literally from the human story of struggle. Because you know what, that girl who looks so perfect on Instagram, guess what? She also has crappy days. Guess what? She also has to run her business. Guess what? She's also dealing with people judging her all the time. Guess what? That person you over here who's trying to help the country, trying to govern the state, trying to do this, it's like, they aren't easy jobs. And I think, unfortunately, we've got so divisive that we're spreading more hate at an exact time in which we should be spreading kindness, love, positivity. We should be champions for each other right now, my friends. Champions for the human experience right now. Champions for each other. Role models for each other. Caregivers for each other. And I know that has to happen right now virtual. So I told you yesterday, simple things you can do. I send 5 voice texts every single day to people in my life. I just cheer them on. Encourage them. Even if I haven't talked to them in weeks or months or years, they're on my sheet for the day. Call them, left a little voice text, cheer them on. Just reaching out to people. Reaching out to you like this in this new series, Striving in Chaos on the Brendon Show podcast, was an attempt to say, let me remind ourselves of some important things here. Because as we're going through, I felt maybe you could use a jolt of positivity. Maybe I could be your coach right now and just helping you think through these things, keeping these things on the radar. Oh, right. Am I driven by doubt right now? Is distraction winning right now? Am I judging people too much right now? Okay, yeah, I am. And let me not do those things under the guise of coping. No, let me rather recognize those are separate things that I'm doing, and I shouldn't run those playbooks right now. Because right now, if I could do the opposite, if I could have some faith, if I could focus, if I could recognize what unites us all right now and participate and recognize that we are on this human struggle together, and we will pull through, and we will be strong, and we will make it happen, and we will survive, and we will carry on. We will carry on. Yes, the pandemic is growing, and we will still carry on. Yes, people we love, that we care for, they're going to be infected. Most of the world, the vast majority of the world, at some point will be infected, and at some point, we're going to lose lots of people. And so what's going to serve that right now? Your self-doubt? You disengaging from your dreams? You judging other people? No, yeah, there's hard times ahead. I'm not the guy at all who's been Pollyannish about this. And if you heard me 30 days ago, you'd be like, holy crap. 30 days ago, I put 3 core messages out in the world. I'll repeat them here. I'll report them throughout this series on the Brendon Show podcast, which is adopt the role model mindset going into it because it's going to be a long road. Take care of your health and wellness because it's going to be a long road. And skill up. Skill up. Learn right now. Acquire training. Take online courses. Read those books. Look at those things you've already purchased. Go through your this is the time to skill up because it's going to be a long haul. From day one, I said those 3 things, and I'll keep repeating those core messages. Adopt the role model mindset. Optimize your health and wellness, and please skill up. And part of this series for you is just making those reminders for you over and over so they get locked in your head because you get to choose your emotional center even when it's a world of chaos. And today, I just wanted to share that with you, that idea that there's sometimes that devil in your ear, that defiance inside. You still want to be great. Your journey to greatness is no less now than it was 3 months ago. In fact, this new obstacle is going to make your story that much more powerful when you overcome. right? People think they're on pause. I'm thinking, this is one of the biggest chapters in your book. You're not on pause. You're pause? No. You're being tested. The real values you have in life are actually showing up right now. Your preferences, those were showing up a year ago. Your privilege and luck and blessings, those were showing up a year ago. Right now, your character is showing up. Right now, your willpower is showing up. Right now, your courage is showing up. Right now, whether or not you really believe you're a leader is showing up. Right now, whether or not you really care about people, that is showing up right now. That's what's showing up. Some people right now are choosing to show up for each other. And I know you being here in this community, you hearing my voice, that is you. So I thank you. I send my love and encouragement out to you. I hope that you will share this with all of your friends, all of your family, everybody needing some mindset help throughout the situation, because I'm going to be here every single day for you for the next 30 days. And you can go onto the Brendon Show podcast and get the audio from every single thing that I'm doing here. So if you want to listen to the audio over and over on your walks or as you're working out at home doing your jumping jacks, you can listen to the Brendon Show podcast on anywhere you listen to your podcast. The main link to iTunes or Apple Podcasts is in my bio on Instagram. I hope this served you all today. I am sharing with you my love. I am sharing with you my care. I am asking you to do your best. And I'm asking you to recognize your own emotional patterns and your own behaviors right now. And just ask yourself, is this the best way I can cope with this? Am I doing my best? Am I trying to show up? Because you're going to be proud of yourself a year from now. I believe you will. I believe we will pull through. And I believe that we look back and say, I engaged. I did a good job. I had faith. I practiced my high performance habits. I cared. I showed compassion. I led. All right. That's the session for today. I'm going to take some questions here on Instagram. I see you guys. So give me a shout out down below. Let me know, hey, listen, where are you all from in the world real quick? Just type it in because I'm curious about that. And then I'll take any questions you have for a brief period here today because I appreciate you all and I want to be here for you. So I see you all. Let me know where you're coming in or tuning in and watching this from, because it's kind of rad that we're all live here, don't you think? So today's message, as you're all typing that in so I can see, don't let doubt win. Don't let distraction win. And don't let division win. Those things are not going to serve you in these next months. I see Amsterdam, I see Calgary, I see Chicago, I see Montreal, I see London. Whoo, your Queen's broadcast last night. Amazing, super inspired. I see Australia, Finland. What's up? Katie from Brazil. Hi, Manny from Birmingham. Thanks for being here. Hi, LA, Los Angeles in the house. Awesome. Hi, Liz from Richmond. Thanks for being here. I see Marique, Rincon. Awesome. Hey, thank you. I love it when we've got some Puerto Rico crew in here. We've got Tally from Greece up in here. Hi, someone from New Zealand. We got Brazil, Vancouver, South Korea. Come on, that's amazing. Thank you for being here, Sondera. We have MJ from Canada. What's up from Brazil, Toronto? Hi, Christian. I see you. Hi, Jose from Portugal. Oh my gosh, one of the most beautiful countries in the world, Portugal. I love you guys. Hey, we've got Ukraine in here. That's awesome. Hey, big shout out to you all. Hey, what questions do you have? That's what I want to hear. I'm happy to take on any questions that you have. And you can post, oh my gosh, we have folks from Pittsburgh. Evan's bored in Pittsburgh. Hey, listen, you can't be bored when you have the internet. That's just true. You can learn anything every single day. When people say I'm bored, listen, go watch my YouTube channel. Go to my YouTube channel, type in boredom or bored, and watch that video. It will change your concept of being bored for the rest of your life. Dean Graziosi, what's up, brother? Hey, brother, I love having you in here, man. I should dial you up in here. Hold on, man. Let me see if we can get you with the peoples. Hold on, if you want to. I'm going to try. I keep missing you. Let's see, hold on. I'm going to try to get you in here, buddy. I didn't know you were in here. Hey!
What's up, Brendon Burchard?
What's up, brother?
I just saw you popped up. I'm like, I know my boy's going to deliver some massive wisdom, so I just wanted to jump on and listen.
You'd love it, man. I just took on the difference between coping and that internal defiance that prevents us from being ourselves.
Oh, so good.
And I said, listen, here's 3 things you don't need right now that are not going to serve you. Number 1, doubt. Not going to help you. Number 2, distraction. And number 3, division by judging other people and being rude to other people. So, you know, what would you share with the folks about, like, what do you see people doing?
I wasn't planning on this. I'm going to,
let
me just put this in this little stand here for a second.
Looks so good, buddy. Hey, look at, here's mine. Look how, see, there's some action of the ocean, but see how much darker it is. It's darker here, guys.
Well, here's what I think. Listen, I've been watching, first off, I've been watching everything you share. I mean, dude, everybody who's following Brendon Burchard, you are so smart. This guy, you know, when you know someone behind the scenes, he's one of my dearest friends, and he loves you guys. I mean it, like loves you guys, obsesses on what he could do to deliver you value. He stays up at night reading books, when he delivers something, you could tell it's intentional. Like Brendon doesn't just come on. I just need to give you 2 minutes of kudos, man, because I don't think people know what you do behind the scenes. Yeah. It's everything you do is planned. So here's what I'd say.
And listen, I know everyone tuning in from who already knows Dean too. Dean not only is a person who really motivated me the other day, which I needed, so thanks, brother. But also I've never seen somebody, especially that last 2 years, never seen somebody work harder, more focused, to add value, to inspire people, and just had a baby. So
yeah, got a 10-day-old or 11-day-old. Okay, so here's what I'd say, and I've been watching your messages, and they're so spot on, and I love your word. I mean, listen, it's not your word, but you help bring it to like front and present, or present and center, is being a role model. Like right now, we need to be role models more than ever before in our lives. And here's what I'd say. I'll take 5 minutes here. I didn't even know I was jumping on here.
No, I didn't know either.
Listen, one thing I have to say is if you're a little scared, if you're a little concerned, if you're a little uncertain, congratulations for being human. This is different than anything. Listen, I was there for the .com bust in the late 80s. I was already in business. I was there for 2000, you know, for 9/11, when that was overnight, you know, in America especially. Our economy changed, our lives changed temporarily. We were a little scared. Like a lot of things happened. I was there for the Great Recession. I was in business and thriving when the Great Recession of 2007 came. But this is a little different, right? It's like a world war almost. But even in a world war, there was a lot of countries that there wasn't bombs hitting. Doesn't matter where you are. We have uncertainty about our future financially. We don't know. In America, there's almost 10 million jobs lost right now, right? Said it's heading towards 10. We're uncertain about our health. We're uncertain if our family members could get sick. And the thing that usually brings us together is going out and getting in community, spending money, try to get the economy flourishing. You're telling us to stay home and not talk to anybody, right? At least in social presence. So if you're feeling a little uneasy, then congratulations. But here's what I also know. Yeah, but here's what I also know, and I'd love to chat this with you, but in times like this, when the dust hits, this is the time for innovation. This is the time to be a leader. This is the time to be a role model, because at the end of this, and this too shall end, who are we going to be? Someone who binged out on Netflix and negative news and got depressed? Or someone that was courageous, that fought through the pain, fought through the fear, found a bigger vision to focus on, not to judge other people, not to question or doubt yourself, and gain capabilities and take action. So when this does shift, we could be those that have the momentum to help rebuild the whole world, right?
Yes.
How do we fix the world? We fix what's going on in here first. Then we fix what's going on with our family and our household, and then our extended family, then our towns, then our cities, then our states, then our countries, then the world. Like if we want to fix the world, everybody who's following us.
Starts home, starts inside.
It starts here.
Yeah. And what I told people too, and I love that, Dean, I love that. I was sharing to people, it's like everyone thinks their journey to their dreams or their journey to greatness has been paused. And the way I'm saying, I'm like, oh no, this is like the big chapter in your journey to greatness. Like this is overcoming this obstacle and demanding much from yourself now, when the struggle is real, when it's really difficult, when this obstacle is here, and there's so many choices to hide from it, to disengage from it.
Yeah.
Actually, your actions now are going to be the thing you look back to and say, you know what, when everybody else was bowing out, getting distracted, quitting, I still did something. And it's not like you have to do everything.
Of course.
Because you can do small goals. We're all limited in some ways, you know. It's like I just did a live cast earlier. I knocked a lighting stand right on my head.
We're doing the best we can.
Like, and then I got this new desk. I got this new desk from Costco. I keep leaning on it. The table keeps going like this. And it's like, hey, listen, we're all going to be a bit of a hot mess, guys. And that's okay. The thing is, we're still moving forward. We're inching forward, even if it's a little hot mess each day, even if you forgot to shower, even if you just don't have it all together. It's not about being perfect. It's about caring how you engage with this world, because your character will feel it later.
Yeah. So you just hit something. What I told my kids forever is, how do you win games? Both my kids play baseball. My daughter softball, my son baseball. They've been playing since they were little, and they're both really good, right? And I always told them one thing. I said, you win games when no one's watching, right? So over, like, in our backyard, we have a batting cage. And when my son's out there batting and he says, oh my, I got blisters on my hands, Dad, I'm like, congratulations. Because when you go to the game and you win and like, oh my God, how'd you throw a no-hitter? How'd you go 3 for 3? Everybody's like, oh, you had a lucky day. It wasn't a lucky day. My son is practicing when no one's watching. It's not glorious. It's not glamorous. It's a little hot out here in the summers and he still does it. Now, my whole point is, this is one of those moments in time that we need to work when no one's watching, because no one is watching. Right? No one is watching. We're home. Figured light stands are falling in our head. I've been learning how to, you've always known how to do cameras and stuff. Dude, I got lights. I'm setting up in my house and I'm like figuring those. But this is what we're doing when no one's watching. And right now, no one's watching. You could binge out on Netflix and negative news and not do anything and drink margaritas all day. I mean, some days drinking margaritas all day sounds good.
And yeah, and everyone is allowed an off day. Everyone is allowed an off day.
Absolutely.
What I've been sharing with people, it was like, Dean, I've been attacked more online than I've ever been, because I've been saying, hey, you still have a dream, you can still move forward. And people are saying, you're not allowing people enough time to cope, and you're not allowing. I'm like, oh, no. You can actively cope and recover each day and do something to move your life forward.
Yeah.
It's not binary. It's not either or. So I've been attacked for it. But one of the main things I'm telling people is like, listen, we're weeks in now. We're weeks into this. And your attitude so far has had a pattern. Your actions so far has had a pattern. Now, if all the attitude and all the actions has been disengage, be on the couch, and just eat a ton, well, that's showing up by now, or it's really going to show up in the next 2 weeks. And like, people have to realize healthy habits, which you and I both teach, this is the time for that, because A, you have to protect your immune system. B, like, you're going to have to come out of this. And I did this little diagram the other day where it's like, if it starts going like this and you're trying to come out of it, but here's what happens. If your performance was this and it starts going like this, we start coming out of it.
Yeah.
If you kept your performance, great. You're going to be able to rise a little bit with that. But if it's going like this and your performance drops and we're coming out of it, oh man, that divide.
Yeah.
It's so much harder to get back in the game. It's so much harder to get your health back. It's so much harder to maintain momentum again. So I'm just urging people, be conscious of your patterns of attitude and behavior right now and how you're treating people, because it might bite you or slow you down 3 months from now. So have that long view.
Of course. And here's the thing. Let's just be honest. I mean, everybody, give me a thumbs up if you agree. If we're just meeting or not right now. None of us love being left behind, right? I mean, even if you don't have like all the energy, if you're scared to death, if finances are really tight right now, you're going through a shift in your world, at the end of the day, being left behind sucks, for lack of a better word. And this is one of those times where no one will see if you're being left behind right now, because everybody's quiet. We're socially distancing. Thank God we're virtually connecting, but we're social distancing. But when it is, what was it? It was a Warren Buffett quote. You don't know who's swimming naked until the tide goes out. Right?
I like that.
And that's when this shifts and this changes, the tide is going to go out.
Yeah.
And some people are going to be left behind. And it's going to be, like you're saying, it's an exponential curve, right? Because we're stuck. All of a sudden it comes back and boom, it goes up. That's when you have that feeling of like, crap, I can't catch up. Yeah. I'm just going to settle for this. Listen, I don't think, whether you believe, God, universe, whatever you believe in, some of the best ways to get through some things like this is, what if this was, again, I don't think anybody wants anybody hurt or sick or passing away, but it's happening and it's here. And it's one of those moments is, if we can't control it, if we can't make it go quicker, if we can't stop the quarantine, if we can't decide how much stimulus money comes into our bank account or doesn't come into our bank, if we can't decide that, then the only thing I'd say, and I got a little heat from this too, is the only thing that we can control, Brendon, is what goes on in here.
Yes.
And what goes on in here and what we digest, right? Listen, if you need to watch the news, schedule an hour a day for the news, negative text with your friends, and an hour on Netflix. That's 2 hours a day. What do you do with the rest of it, right?
Right.
For me, it's like digest so you can figure out what's going to have momentum. Because out of this dust, you know, let's just be honest. We know some industries are going to take a big hit and take a while to come back. We know some companies are going to go out and maybe never come back. But simultaneously, I've been through 3 of them. You've been through 3 of them.
Yeah.
At the end of this, there's going to be companies and industries that flourish. Why? Because they were working when no one was watching. And they were listening. Instead of saying, Brendon, you're not giving us time, they're like, yeah, Brendan's right. Dean's right. I don't want to be left behind. And all it takes is, it's Kaizen, one step at a time. Start figuring stuff out today, right?
Something
Not every day.
Something every day. I mean, you're nailing it. It's literally something every day you can do. But I also love that you said, hey, okay, you did all those things. That was 2-3 hours a day. What's the rest of it? And I did this math for people. Listen to this, dude. This is crazy. If you do, this, I really had to prepare this and write this down because it's math. So hold it. But if you do this 1 hour of distraction a day leads to 7 hours a week. Doesn't seem like much, right? 7 hours a week over the course of the year. When you average that out, here's what ends up happening. It ends up being 42 8-hour work weeks a year lost.
Wow.
So I'm not saying you can't do lots of things, but I'm just saying know the difference between coping and distraction. Distraction is you want to dream, you have a mission, you want to do something, you want to do that today, but you got distracted in news, you got distracted in other things, and distracted in things that didn't build you up. So 1 hour a day lost is 42 8-hour work days a year. That's
Oh my God.
That's 1.5 work months every day of the week for a month and a half a year with 1 hour distraction. So it matters right now. And I'm like, hey, I'm okay if you want to chill, disengage, relax, recover, but still find some time to move things forward. Because guess what? 1 hour of productivity that's really effortful each day. Even if it's 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, 25 here, guess what? 1 hour still, that's going to give you an advantage of 42 days on people right now. So I'm not demanding I'm awesome.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah.
Totally. And the other thing too is, I don't know about you, but it shifted for me. There was a couple of weeks, listen, let's just say it like it is, guys, no matter where you are, right? If this is impacting, if you're making $1,000 a week and your income went away, it's stressful as hell, right? If you have a big company and your employees aren't working, but you're paying them, it's stressful as hell. I owned almost 300 houses. The governor of the state that I'm houses. You still there?
Yeah, I just lost the part. You said the governor.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, I have 300 houses that are all rented, right, with a couple $100,000 a month mortgage on them, and the governor just said, don't pay your rent, everybody, right? Like, I have $200,000 a week overhead in just one of my companies, and nobody's at the office, right? So it's all relevant. If you're making $1,000 a week, $1,000 a day, $100,000 a day, $1 million a day, it doesn't matter. It shifts and it impacts all of us.
That's right.
And I let myself for a couple of weeks lean into concern and worry. And then luckily, because I've been here, I was able to shift it by absorbing personal growth, by remembering and reminding myself what I did last time, by watching YouTube videos, going into old courses, digesting the right information, and then it shifted. And I want to tell you guys, and I hope this can happen to all of you, I'm more energized today. I am more innovative today than I've been in probably 2 years. This is a massive wake-up call.
Yeah, baby, me too.
Because in a lot of ways, my back's up against the wall. I got to shift. I got to pivot. We have to, you and I have been jamming on the phone. It's like we got to create virtual and take it to a whole nother level. Still deliver value. Sell in a way that's ethical, not push. Like, there's all these variables. But man, when you figure that out, I know that a lot of my competition are the ones sending me messages saying, man, I'm screwed. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to help them. But for me, I'm like, I'm not going back there. I was there for a couple of days. It's gone. Now it's innovation and energy. Right.
I tell everyone, I'm like, hey, my hashtag has been, I'm locked down, but fired up.
Locked down, but fired up. There you go.
I'm locked down, but I'm fired up because, yeah, I'm locked in. Yeah, I'm limited. Yeah, there's things. Yeah, there's light stands falling on my head. And I'm fired up because, A, I know this is the greatest period of time in which people need inspiration, guidance, expertise, credibility, personal development. So I feel engaged purposefully. And B, I also recognize, like you said, I don't want to get left behind right now. This is a real moment in which leaders will emerge, a real moment in which those who practice willpower, self-discipline, high performance habits, success habits will literally climb, and you can get your edge right now. Like, this can be an exciting time, but here's the thing. You got to define that for yourself. Everyone's got to define it. You know, what does it mean? We are the only ones who are defining that question right now. And more importantly, we're defining our relations with other people. Everything in life is relational. How are you relating with this crisis? How are you relating with your spouse? How are you relating with the kids running around the house? How are you relating with people when you walk by them, like 6 feet away? How are you, how are you relating with this is going to set a precedent.
It is.
And you helped me the other day, so thank you, buddy.
Well, dude, you always help me. And I'm going to share this with you guys. Brendon is my go-to, and I hope I'm always his go-to. But when I'm having an off day or things hit your business, something comes out of the blue, a friend disappoint, like the big chunks, not the little things. We never bug each other. But when I'm nervous about something, when I'm unsure, so let me just get this clear for everybody. It doesn't matter how long you're in business, how successful you are. There are days of uncertainty, right?
That's right.
Brendon is my go-to. And what Brendon does for me, and we've been sharing it, is he puts my cape back on. And that's what I want to share, and why it's so great that you follow Brendon. Hopefully you get the same thing if you're following me, is we hope to put your cape back on. And all of us feel that way. There is no one bulletproof to this, right? Everybody looks and thinks you haven't figured out. Maybe with more experience, you have more data to recall on. I've been through 3 down markets. This is how I got out of it last time. Here's my innovation. Here's how I spoke to people. Here's how I thrived in uncertain times. We have experience, but the cape falls off sometimes. We want to hide under the desk, and we feel like we're imposters. Like, I was okay to X $1 million a year company, but this is too much, right? Until you have a reminder, like on a Zoom, on an Instagram story like this, or from a friend like Brendon. The last 2 times I called Brendon, he put my cape back on. So I was happy that the other day I was able to help him put his cape back on.
Yeah, for real.
And it doesn't mean you're, scared and running through the woods crying. It means that I'm a little unsure.
You're reaching out. And
just reach out. And
I didn't even know I was unsure until we were in conversation. Here's what's so important for people to listen to this, especially in this physically distancing time. You should actually be chatting with people more often who are positive in your network, because you don't even know until you're in conversation what might be going on. Like, I didn't know.
Oh my God,
we were
so
talking.
true.
I was listening to Dean's tone and where I was, and I was like, oh, I've been off. And I wouldn't, if you had asked me in the morning, how you doing? I'm like, 100%, I'm great. I didn't even know. And then, because he's my friend, and I was like, oh, I wasn't where I usually am with Dean. And I'm like, oh, it was until literally after we hung up the phone, I was like, I feel better. And I sent you a note thanking you.
You did.
Because I think that's what's important for people to hear is everything in life is relational. Sometimes we don't even know how we feel until we talk with people. And so find your best friends, find the people you want to connect with, the positive voices in your life, and call them up and chat with them, because you might discover where you're at and they might lift you to another level, or you realize where they're at and you can
lift them up.
That's what's important. That's
yeah.
important.
You know what I did the other day is I challenged everybody in my community, and get back into your communities, like Brendon's community, his monthly trip, all those things. We need to be a part of something bigger than ourselves now more than ever before. Right? We need that voice, not the voice of insecurity, not the voice that fuels self-doubt. We need someone who says it like it is. That's why I watch Brendon. That's why we love jamming with each other, because we bring each other up. We have to find that. But I said this the other day. I said, figure out something you love to talk about, anything in the whole world. And Brendon teaches this better than anyone. And set up a Zoom call next week. Like, put it in your calendar, like next Tuesday. You love fly fishing? Text everyone you know, go to your Facebook account, email everything you know, and say, hey, next Tuesday at 2, I want to do an hour jam and just share on how I fly fish.
Sessions. I love it.
Like, I'm just going to talk about fly fishing, or I'm going to talk about how I love eating vegan, or I love organizing my closet, or cleaning out the clutter in my life, or cooking Asian food. Like, just create a jam session like that and get on and start bringing that energy back into your life, because there's going to be someone on that call that needs you. And there's going to be someone with more energy than you. And you're like, shit, I thought I was here. I need to go here.
Yeah.
Right.
Someone's going to lift you up. That's important. The social dynamics, y'all. Get around people, be in conversations, learn from them, because right now is everything. Dean's nailing it. Like just schedule it next week. I mean, we've been really active in our community and our friendships of just being on our lives, doing Zooms, having conversations, text strings up the wazoo, voice text. I leave at least 5 voice texts every single day. I know you do too. So it's just like, just be there and be in conversations, y'all. Take care of each other. Recognize we're all going through it. The struggle is there, but so is the opportunity. And my most important thing is, the reason I talk with Dean all the time too, is because make sure you are in conversation with leaders right now. With leaders. Not people, I mean, not complainers, not haters, not negative people. Be in conversation with leaders right now. It's important for yourself. I don't follow or listen to anyone. If I listen to a podcast from somebody and there's no tone that they're trying to inspire people to be stronger and to lead, I'm out. Like right now, leading and demanding of that ourselves, holding at those higher difficult standards of ourselves right now, I need that from other people, even me. So that's what I'm listening to.
Agreed. Amen.
You know, so
Amen.
anyway, good seeing you, brother.
This is great that it jumped on here spontaneously.
I know. I just saw you and I got so excited. I always do. I see Dean. I'm like, Dean. So, dude, I hope that you and Lisa stay well, and congratulations on new baby Luca, which makes my whole day.
Thank you so much, brother. Well, this was good. I love when we get a chance to hang. So everybody here, it was awesome to spend a little time with you. But remember, this too shall pass. And as hard as it is, we'll get through this, and we'll get through it greater together, greater as a community. And what an amazing time to really step up being a role model. As Brendon he's been preaching role model since the day I met him. To be a role model, to be a leader, to set the example. And if the example is just walking in the other room and set the tone right now different with your spouse, or sit down with your kids at dinner tonight and set a tone, that's where you start. Yeah. Right? That's just the little things that you start, and that compounds and it turns into a snowball. And when this shifts, the world's going to need leaders more than ever. And wouldn't it be great to be positioned in that spot? So that's it, man. I appreciate you, brother. Keep up the good work.
Dean. I love you, Dean. Thanks,
love
everybody.
You too,
that was
See
awesome,
you guys.
man. Appreciate you. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining in.